Hello and welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back yet again on the channel, guys, to a 5-star Barca performance. It is here the second game in a row where we have scored 5 goals, and whether it's Real Betis or Real Madrid, we do not care. We are absolutely electric right now. What a display. What a performance it was. Yet again from this Barca team. Lamine Yamal was extraordinary and again sealing it with a goal. Jules Kounde was absolutely magnificent too. Pedri, wherever you look tonight, there was absolutely dazzling displays. And what we've also got right here in tonight's review is lots of news as well. We have a dramatic and decisive turnaround on Araujo's future. He is staying at Barca. We are going to go in depth into that decision. We're also going to have the very latest on Ansu Fati and Marcus Rashford. So get yourselves ready, guys. I know that it may be late where you are, but I assure you, this is going to be good. Because at Barca right now, we are bouncing. Let's do this. Because if we do kick off proceedings here with 2 more absolutely fantastic super thanks coming in on the channel, it's been another special evening, and Dr. Ismati there, he's still celebrating the Clasico win all the way from South Africa. Amazing support, my friend. Eric Rojas as well. He'll be absolutely loving the game tonight and the result for Barca. What a feeling. And another truly breathtaking display. And I think it's more impressive given the changes that Hansi Flick did make, because even before the game started, guys, we said a little bit of rotation, it could be required here, and I was so happy to see Alejandro Balde rested. That was really important in my opinion. Marcus Sardo got a rest, and also Robert Lewandowski as well. And what that meant was Barca started this game without a recognised centre-forward. And I thought that was absolutely fascinating there in the forward areas. So much movement, so much flexibility, and it produced some absolutely beautiful football there. More minutes tonight for Araujo, an important start for De Jong, Gavi in there as well, and Olmo operating in a more advanced area. And the game actually started, well, before it began, it was Araujo having his moment in front of the crowd there, following his big decision on his future. We're going to be talking lots more about that later, but he presented the Super Cup to the crowd. And like I said, that was really special for him as the captain with the armband, and now with his future secured. And it didn't take us long in the game to get properly underway. 3 minutes in, what a goal it was from Barca. And look at Pedri here, guys. When he receives this ball, look at his body position. Look at the fact that when he receives this pass, there's no real danger. There's nothing really on. Betis actually think they've got him right where they want him. But hey, one little drop of the shoulder, and he is away. You know, suddenly he's dropped his marker, he's sat him down, and Pedri then can really hurt you in these areas here. He doesn't take on the easy option. He plays the pass forward, threads it between the lines. Dani Olmo then, he's in a great area. He opens up his body with a great first touch, takes it in his stride, and then just lays it off to Gavi. And this is something we've seen now really developing over the past few games. Gavi making really nicely timed runs into the penalty area there, arriving at the perfect moment. He takes it with one touch, takes it onto his left side, and it's a brilliant finish there past the goalkeeper. Another goal for Gavi, which is fantastic to see. And what you will have noticed is there was no celebration from him there. It was almost as though he was apologising for the goal. It looked like he actually felt quite bad for it. And the reason actually for that there, that real show of respect from Gavi, is because he spent 2 years at the Real Betis Academy before he eventually came to Barca at the age of 11 there. So Betis was an important club in terms of his development as a youngster, but it really was a fast and ferocious start from Barca, and on 27 minutes we doubled our lead. And again, you're looking at Pedri, he's at the heart of everything here. He receives it again in a position nothing's really on. He's always got his head up though. He's always looking, you know, how can I make something happen? Where's the open space here that I can really open up defences? And he switches the play really nicely there over the other side of the pitch. Kounde does well to just step over the ball, little dummy in there. He continues continues his run, and then look at Yamal. It's the first touch pass. It's right perfectly into the zone there for Kounde, and the ball is just bouncing. And I think all of us at home were thinking, just hit it. Go on, move on to that ball there and strike it. And the way that he finishes this, it is absolutely top class there. He does really put his foot through it, but it's such a control volley from Kounde. That is not an easy angle. He goes across the goalkeeper with such power, and that is an absolutely wonderful second goal there from Barca. Brilliant in the build-up from Lamine Yamal. It's another assist for him, and that wouldn't be the last moment of magic in front of goal that we saw from Jules Kounde on the night. But guys, Yamal throughout this game, he was just absolutely on it, wasn't he? He really, really was, turning defenders inside out. They didn't know how to deal with him. You can see him here get to the byline. He cuts it back, actually. Brilliant move this was. Gerard Martin was coming in on it. It actually falls to him there inside the area, but he can't quite finish it off in the end. But Yamal, he was just doing whatever he wanted, you know, with all of that flair, all of that ability, and he is so confident there. We saw nutmegs, we saw outside of the foot crosses, you name it. He was actually doing it. It was an absolute joy to behold, but there was a big save in here from Iñaki Peña. We've got to mention that too. Betis had a few moments in the game where they did get in behind. Roque it was here, funny enough. Roque, who did have a goal to his name later on we're going to talk about. But a great save here from Peña. It's close range. He gets a really strong hand up. It's a fantastic close range stop and a big moment in the game as well to do it. And then just before half time, we thought we had a third. And by the way, we should have had a third on the night, because this, it was perfect. Yamal, again, it's a carbon copy. It's into Kounde. It's into a great area. This time, though, Kounde's touch actually takes him a little bit wider. And you're thinking, can he score from there? Can he get it on target from there? He can do better than that. What a finish this was. Kounde there unleashes one. It goes off the underside of the bar and in. I was absolutely gobsmacked by that finish. I leapt up off my seat. And then what did they do? They found a reason to disallow this goal. Why? Why are we doing this in football here? Isn't the whole point to entertain? You know, we want to see great attacking plays. We want to see exciting goals. Why are we looking for reasons to disallow these goals? Because you're looking at the replays here, you're looking at all the different angles, you got your measuring stick, you got all the rulers, the trigonometry. Why are we doing this? It's not offside. There's no reason here to look further and further and further, zoom more and more and more in. It's a goal. Just let it stand. It used to be we give the advantage to the attacking player. What happened to that? That was a beautiful goal, a beautiful finish that really did deserve to stand. And we had all of this nonsense in the second half, guys, as well. Lamine Yamal, how many times today was he denied? Because Frenkie de Jong actually here picks out a beautiful ball into Yamal. He's actually telling him where he wants it. The run is brilliant. And what I love about this goal is Yamal watches that pass all of the way there, never ever taking his eye off it. And he hits it first time. He really does guide it there into the bottom left-hand corner. And again, wonderful goal. These are exactly the kinds of moments that, you know, we as fans, and not just as Barca fans, but football in general, we want to see these kinds of moments. It inspires people to get involved in the game. It excites people. And again, we go all the way back. I mean, how far do you want to look into a goal to try and find fault there? We actually go back 21 seconds to find there an initial offside. I mean, how far do we go back before we're saying, okay, let's go right the way back to kickoff, see if there was some sort of problem in this? It is really getting a little bit ridiculous, guys, and Yamal here really was denied so many times tonight, and then he thought, well, fine, I actually took that personally. I'll do it myself then, because from Real Betis' attack, Yamal nips it in the bud. He gets to the ball first there, racing away from Real Betis. And look at the way he carries the ball there, the energy that he does it with, the poise that he has in possession. They don't know what to do. Betis, any opposition facing Yamal there, they are terrified to the core. And when they close him down, he just takes it past them. He just makes them look absolutely stupid, leaves them on the floor, and it eventually falls there. The advantage is played, it falls to Raphinha, and he just drills it into the back of the net. Yet another goal tonight for Raphinha. What a season he is having, but what an impact on that goal again from Lamine Yamal. And look, guys, this is the way that it's done. Because at that point in the game there, just over 1 hour gone in the match, we're 3-0 up, we are cruising, we're probably moving on to the next round of the Copa del Rey, and then we could just take people off. Raphinha goes off, Araujo goes off, Ferran and Eric Garcia come on. A few minutes later then, Gavi goes off as well, Pedri goes off, Pau Victor and Fermin come on, and this is the way that you do it. You start strong there, you put out a good core in your team, in your lineup, and then you can rotate as you get ahead in the game and when you move out of sight. And hey, those coming on had an impact as well. Ferran Torres, he gets himself in on the act and almost brilliant here on the edge of the box. He just waits, he bides his time there. Little pause just to see the run of Ferran, plays it over the top, and we really did target that Real Betis left side time and time again. We were getting in down that side today. Really, really nice stuff from Barca. Good touch from Ferran and a really good finish again. Really hard and across the goalkeeper. That there is 4-0 Barca. And then, guys, we had another one disallowed from Lamine Yamal. I mean, I think he was thinking tonight, what's it going to take? What is actually happening here? He scored. This time, they ruled it out immediately. They said, okay, that was offside. Turns out, it wasn't offside. They got that one wrong as well. Eventually, they realised, and it was great work in the build-up there from another sub that came on, Fermin, just threading it through to Yamal, exploiting all of that space there. Betis stepping up and really getting caught out. Yamal moving in on goal, and that is 3 goals for him now in 3 games in 2025. And suddenly, he's adding more to his game. He's adding another layer. He's adding goals. This kid is absolutely sensational. And then once he got his goal again, I'm really happy he was taken off by Hansi Flick. And I've got to say today, Hansi Flick, the perfect demonstration of how it's done. I think he got his lineup absolutely spot on. The rotations were perfectly timed, and the subs today, they were absolutely perfect as well, you've got to say. And I was really happy too to see Pablo Torres coming on there in Yamal's place, and even he got a few minutes tonight. And there was, of course, a consolation goal from Real Betis, and it came from technically one of our own, in Vitor Roque, a penalty there. And you were kind of thinking when he was taking it, well, at 5-0, it doesn't really make any difference to us either way. A goal conceded isn't too bad, and if it gives him a bit of confidence, well, so be it. Roque then did indeed go and score, and it kind of was only just. It really did squeeze under Iñaki Peña. Definitely not the most convincing penalty you've ever seen, but hey, Vitor Roque scored another goal for him this season. But for Barca, a resounding win, a convincing win, an absolutely relentless display of football again. And what we're seeing right now, let's all just say it, this is special. This is Flick's Barca. And I don't want to say that we're back. We don't want to quite go there yet. But this is looking good. And this is the path that we want to be on. But indeed, guys, speaking there about that very path, speaking about our trajectory as a club right here, as I spoke about there in the intro, there's been lots happening today at Barca. Huge news coming in that we've also got to talk about. So aside from the game itself, there is still plenty to discuss and plenty of huge developments going on at the club right now. And we have to talk more about Ronald Araujo and the incredible change in direction over the past sort of 12 hours or so. It has all changed in his future, because yesterday, of course, we were talking about Joan Laporta's words when he said basically, we're trying to find a solution, we're looking for one, we believe there will be one, but things were happening inside of the club. Quite clearly, everybody wasn't aligned. Araujo had something in his mind, maybe the club were going in a bit of a different direction. We didn't know what would happen, but after a meeting last night between Araujo and Deco, it has all been resolved. Now, rarely in football do we see things work out in this way, whereby there may have been a bit of a difference in opinion, there may have been a bit of divide, but in that meeting, it was all ironed out perfectly. And I think in the end, guys, let's be honest here, it has come down to money. And I think a lot of the time in football, that's sort of viewed badly in terms of here a player wanting to get more money, being linked away from the club, of course, maybe using that interest from Juventus. But as we spoke about yesterday, when it comes to Araujo, it's a little bit different, because given that he renewed in 2022 on that very reduced deal, let's not forget here that when he was at times leading our defence, when he was really the leading figure at Barca, there were so many players around him earning more than him, and yet he accepted there to renew his deal on a salary that was definitely lower than he was worth. So I think this time around, he's ultimately waited here to be paid what he felt he was owed, to be paid in terms of a contract to what he felt was suitable. Maybe Barca took a little bit of time to get to that figure. Maybe they thought they could try and negotiate and maybe play a bit of hardball. And I think in the end here, based on that meeting, based on the fact now that everybody seems satisfied, there is now an agreement in principle on a new deal at Barca for Ronald Araujo. And that, guys, let's be honest here and let's be clear, that is fantastic news for the club. Because just think about what it would cost to replace a player like him. You know, if you were to go into the transfer market tomorrow and try and sign a centre-back there, a player of Araujo's ability, that would be an extortionate amount of money. You would have to pay million upon million upon million to replace that kind of quality. And let's not forget as well what our ambitions are as a club. You know, I've been thinking throughout this entire Araujo saga, if you're a top club, you know, with big aspirations, you do not sell your best players. You do not sell the players in your squad who have the biggest potential, the biggest quality. And that's what it would have been. You know, we would have let a player go there that could help us, that could really add to our squad and give us real quality. And I also think in this case, guys, the words of Hansi Flick have been vital. They have been really important there every time that he was asked there, every time he gave his opinion on Araujo. He always said, look, he is one of the best centre-backs in the world. I want him in my team. It was almost as though Flick there was giving a clear message to the Barcelona board. Do not let him go. And in the end here, it's good for everybody. It's good for the club. It's good here moving forward long term, keeping a player of that quality and keeping him on terms that in the end, everybody has agreed upon. So that there, guys, is definitely something that we can celebrate. However, guys, at Barca right now, in terms of this January transfer window, well, not everything is going as smoothly as now that Araujo situation. There are certain players here who things are not really ticking along as well for. Let's talk about Ansu, and let's then talk, by extension, about Marcus Rashford too. Because on Ansu Fati right now, a clear message from the club tonight, yet again excluded, completely left out of the squad list. Now that is the third time in a row that he's been left out in the cold there. He's taking it badly right now. He's really hurting, I'm sure. I think he's almost feeling as though he's not really part of this squad, and quite clearly he's not in Flick's plans. And apparently Flick is the kind of coach here that would have told Ansu that. You know, he's not hiding away from the situation. He would have told him head on, it's just not happening for you right now. I think he said that in his press conference yesterday, that even when he came in, there was optimism, there was encouragement that maybe he could recover Ansu's best level, but it simply has not transpired in that way. But the issue is Ansu Fati's contract. Because let's not forget, guys, he was one of those players who, as we mentioned yesterday, he currently, on their current deals, he earns more than Ronald Araujo. And I mean, that's kind of part of the problem there. Ansu Fati is actually on some fairly significant wages in this team. So that is a stumbling block for clubs who are interested in him. It's also not really helping him to be eager to leave the club. You know, even if he is being left out right now, Barca are trying to send out that message, but he's still not in a great hurry to leave that big contract behind. But what is interesting about this particular situation is Barca are so keen to move Ansu on, to not play him right now, to get rid of him in January, but the ambition is to let him go and to replace him, at least in the short term, with Marcus Rashford. That is the club's idea right now. That is the way they are seeing things in this window, that if they can shift Ansu, shift those wages, they would be able there to fit in Rashford on a short-term loan deal. It wouldn't be anything permanent, guys. It would simply be for the rest of the season, and we still don't know how much of Rashford's wages we would even be looking to pay. But what would you make of that kind of swap there in terms of losing Ansu? He hasn't played a great deal this season anyway. It's not as though he has been a fixture in this team. It would be somebody there who hasn't really been involved. And then Rashford coming in. Do you feel as though he could give more than Ansu? Do you feel that he could have an impact that was greater than what Ansu could have done? Because let's be honest, he also hasn't had that many chances. You know, would Rashford come in and play more? Would he be able to give more to the team? That's the big question right now. The board quite clearly thinks so. It remains to be seen exactly what Hansi Flick thinks, but you'd have to imagine it's along the same lines there, given that he doesn't see Ansu as part of his project right here. But on the face of it, guys, just looking at those potential deals, would you be happy with that? Losing Ansu in January and replacing him with Marcus Rashford. That is something there that is definitely going to generate a lot of conflicting opinions, guys. So please do let me know all of those in the comments down below. And of course as well, guys, please do let me know your thoughts on the display tonight, the absolute magic from Barca in the attacking areas, the spectacular goals on show. I want to know all your thoughts and all of your feelings. I hope you all enjoyed that, and I hope you are all grinning from ear to ear right now. I will see you soon, guys, to talk lots more about this and the special form we are seeing right now. Thank you indeed for all of your fantastic support. But until next time, as always, Vejka, Real Barça.